A lot of things have changed in downtown Summit, but it hasn't lost its heart. Today I'm going to introduce you to a few of our new businesses. I'm Emmy Havis, and this is Meet the Merchants. We've lost some of our businesses that we've had over all these years during this last 18 months. But the good news is we've got a lot of new ones opening up. And I'm very excited about introducing you to those people who own them. So let's take a walk around town and meet them now. Here we are with Margot Zigmont at Tea and Oranges. This is a new little business in Summit that I wanted to introduce you to her. Margot, thanks for being with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tea and Oranges, where did that name come from? Because this is not a tea room, and I don't see any oranges. It's a beautiful, beautiful women's boutique here in downtown Summit. Where did you come up with the name?
Tea and Oranges is a line from one of my favorite songs. It's a Leonard Cohen song called Suzanne.
Oh.
It's the line, she gives me tea and oranges that come all the way from China.
Oh, neat.
It's been a favorite for most of my life.
So tell me a little about yourself. I know you're not from Summit. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little about from where you hail and how you got here.
So I'm from Lawrence, Kansas originally, and I went to school at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville.
Great school.
And yeah, it's a wonderful place. After I graduated, I moved to the city. I met my husband there, and eventually we moved out to New Jersey. We lived in Montclair for a year, but we ended up settling in Summit permanently.
And why did you pick Summit?
You know, it had a lot to do with the downtown vibe. Mm-hmm. Lawrence, which is my hometown, had a really strong downtown community, and so I loved that. I loved participating in it as a young person, and so I really looked for something like that in a town that we would live with our family.
Great, great. And you have two kids?
We have two kids. I have a 9 and 11-year-old.
Oh, my goodness.
And they're at school here at Franklin and the middle school.
Great. That's great. So you also picked it as a place to live, but you picked it as a place to open your business. Mm-hmm. What got you into this business? You went to UVA. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you didn't major in opening a lovely women's boutique.
No, I didn't.
So what got you into this?
So I've worked a lot of retail in my life, and when I was at UVA, I worked at a great shop in Charlottesville called Scarpa, and honestly, to this day, it's one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life. And then when I moved here to Summit, I spent several years working at Will & Grace.
I heard you are a master knitter.
I'm a crazy knitter,
yes.
And I'm very enthusiastic, and I taught, and I worked there for 5 years. And
really, that long?
Mm-hmm. And over the years, Patty Perry just gave me so many opportunities to learn.
She's a great gal.
She's amazing. And eventually, my husband said, you like working retail, which not everyone does, and you work really hard. Don't you think you'd have more fun running your own business? And when I thought about it, I thought, you know what? Probably.
Sounds good.
So he just referenced a couple retail experiences I had and said, what would you rather do? And I thought, I'd like to open something that is like a little like Scarpa. And honestly, when I was first coming up with business ideas, I reached out to my old boss and I said, would you like to open Scarpa here? I think it would do really well. She was basically like, absolutely not. But if you need help with anything along the way,
isn't that wonderful?
Just let me know. I mean, she's been really amazing to me. Yeah. She's helped open doors to so many vendors.
That's what I was going to ask you. How do you find your vendors? Starting out from scratch with an idea, she was your help.
She gave a lot of help, and some of the brands and designers that we have here are designers that she carried when I worked for her 20 years ago.
Wow.
And so these are people who've been making jewelry for a very long time or making shoes for a very long time. And so they're brands that I know and trust. And as adult,
important.
Yes. Well, to me that was really important because I spent part of my adult life working as like a stylist and personal shopper for high net worth individuals, and it was an amazing job. We did a lot with the haute couture, a lot of custom clothing, and it really opened my eyes about how the disparity in how clothes can be made. So you can get fast fashion that's inexpensive and cute, or you can have something that's made and someone in a workshop is cutting the fabric just for you and sewing it onto you. And it gave me an appreciation for all the different levels. But then after I had kids and I was buying things for myself, I felt like I would buy things that would fall apart after
Yeah.
a wash or two.
Yeah.
And
Well, you were too knowledgeable also.
I was. I mean,
Yeah.
I was spoiled. And so I really started looking for brands that I felt like I could wear it 100 times. And when I bring brands in here, I like to try everything before I buy it for the shop. I want to know that I trust it. So
And how it fits and how it feels. Yeah. And you know, that's important because I think we are a very disposable society. And you know, quick gratification. So you grab something, you wear it for a year or so. It's either out of style, or as you say, it doesn't dry clean or wash well. Much better. I've always thought a beautiful dress in beautiful fabric is timeless. You'll wear it for years and years and years, and love it for years and years and years. And you know, some people balk at price tags, but when you take it out over the years, it's really much more inexpensive and affordable than you think.
absolutely, it's much more sustainable to shop
Yes.
that way. And one thing
That's
we
another good point. Yeah, the sustainability.
absolutely. I mean, we say buy less, buy better.
That's a great line. Yeah, terrific, terrific. So you opened this shop, and you opened it at probably the worst time in the world. And here you were standing here as merchandise is coming through the door. What were your thoughts?
I was just kind of like, what am I going to do? And I knew I couldn't do nothing and just wait for the world to open back up again. So I just said, okay, that website that I knew I was going to put together, it's going to be up tomorrow. And social media, I guess I have to be consistent and just remind people that I'm here. So when they are able to shop, hopefully they'll come in.
Yeah.
And that's the website and social media are just something that I've had to stick with because it's how we communicate with
Sure.
our customers. It's our first
Sure.
line of communication.
It's all different now.
Exactly. This is what's here. Ultimately, we want our customers to walk in the door and touch the pieces and to see it on themselves before they buy it. But I feel really fortunate we've been able to connect to customers all across the United States because of the website, because of social
Yeah,
media.
the website's terrific, by the
Thank
way.
you very much.
It's really nice. And I think another plus you have, even though you are off the beaten path here, is your address Springfield Avenue?
It is a Springfield Avenue address, but we're my
Setback,
yeah,
yeah, setback.
Yeah.
So, but we were just saying as we were walking over here, the really one big benefit that you have for that location is you have parking right out in front.
Yep.
So your customers can pull right up, hop out of the car, don't pay anything. So that's a big plus. So I see sunglasses, I see jewelry, I see leather goods, I see boots, I see fashion. And you were just telling us a minute ago about a jeweler that you have here that actually started out as a customer. Tell me that story.
Oh, so we have this amazing, incredibly talented woman named Anya Boroditsky, and she's a Summit resident. And she came in here as a customer for the first time over the holidays last year. And as I was saying, just with her, just like with everyone else, like we want to know about our customers. We want to know what you do.
Right.
We want to know about.
So that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. And so I learned that she was a jeweler. She's a bench jeweler, which means that she makes all the jewelry herself. And so over the course of several months, I looked at her pieces, I'm admiring it, and we talked about bringing it in here for her to be able to sell it to the Summit community, you know, in a nice environment.
Yes. It's beautiful.
It's wonderful, and it's very different. It's very distinctive, and it's beautifully made.
Yeah.
So I feel really fortunate that we can have relationships like that with local individuals, creative people who are making amazing things.
Sure, and small vendors too.
Absolutely.
You're not going to come in here and find this in every shop that you go into, and that's important. I think really important.
Absolutely. I mean, that's another thing. We do have some bigger brands here, but for the most part, I really want the brands that we sell to be something that you're not going to find anywhere else around here.
So when did you open? When was-
I got my certificate of occupancy the same day they shut down non-essential business in New Jersey.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
It's a
that
big
was
joke.
terrible.
It's a big
yeah,
joke.
yeah. But you're still here.
I am.
You're still here.
I wouldn't change anything about it. It gives me such an appreciation for all the hard work that I
Yes.
had to put in during
Yes.
that time, and it's like to be able to come through that and be like, to be able to say to myself, we were successful,
Yeah.
we were profitable despite all of these
Yeah.
challenges. As a new business alone, it's
Yes, that
hard enough to
alone.
do those
Sure.
things. But in that environment, it's I don't know, it feels like a feather in the cap.
Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
it also helped us feel out the customer in a different way. And I had originally hoped to be more centered around accessories. So shoes, bags, jewelry, with clothes being a very small percentage.
Really?
Yes. Because I ultimately believe in a capsule wardrobe, you know, the same like buy less, buy better. You make your outfit, you drive the attitude with your accessories.
Right.
But my customer reaction was just that they appreciated the point of view that we were bringing with our apparel, and they just asked for more. So we've been able to add in some great designers slowly because of the pandemic, I think.
Sure, sure. And what designers do you carry?
So Frank and Eileen is a big part of our business, and they've been a part of our business from the very beginning. And that's women's shirting, knits, pants, and it's everyday, elevated casuals. And I've known this brand for a long time. Again, it washes and wears like a dream. You can wear it 100 times. But then I have a lot of like smaller brands, like A Piece Apart. MJ Watson is a small Italian brand that makes beautiful cashmeres. Vanessa
sounds
Bruno
lovely, yeah.
is a French brand that's relatively well known, and it's fabulous stuff. I can't even like keep track of everything because everything has changed so much just in the past year.
Everything looks beautiful. This, I just have to say, this shop, you walk in and you don't quite know what to expect. And you walk in and it's just this beautiful layout. It's so well merchandised, so well displayed that I think it would be hard not to buy something. And I think the other thing is you have personal assistants right here. People are not taking these off the rack and running to the dressing room, trying it on and going, I don't know. They would have somebody here who would reach out and help them. And I think that is so important in this day and age. And I don't understand, and maybe it's just me and I'm old and cranky, but I don't understand buying online. Other than light bulbs or something like that, you know, which is all I buy online. Because I think it's all about the touch and the feel and the layout and speaking with somebody. You know, you seem to have the same philosophy we do to get to know the customer. I mean, that's a lot of the fun part about it.
It's so
you get
much
to know
fun.
them, you get to know the husband, you know the kids, you know the dog's name. And you know, and you like it. That's the deal. You know, that gets you through the day. All of a sudden, it's time to go home, and you go, "What happened here?"
That's
you
right.
know? It's true.
It really is so satisfying. Owning a business in a small town like this and the relationships that we develop with our customers, we really appreciate and adore them all so much. I mean, and we learn a lot from them.
Yeah. So give me your address on Springfield Avenue.
Our address is 316 Springfield Avenue.
And your website is?
It's shopteaandoranges.com.
Yeah, and I encourage everybody to go there because it is a great website and very easy to use. And keep up the good work. It's lovely.
Thank you so much, Emmy.
You bet. One of our very, very new businesses is right here on Union Place, Sarah Doce. It just opened up in August.
Correct.
And I'm here with Arsen Vall, the owner, who also owns the restaurant Sarah over on Bank Street. So this is kind of like a dual interview. We've got two things going on here.
Both.
This is a lovely place,
Thank
and it smells good, it looks good. Tell me a little bit about you. How did you, I know you've been in the food business for a long time, so give me a little bit about your background and how you got here.
Well, my grandparents came from Portugal to Brazil in the 50s, and they opened up bakeries. So mostly Portuguese people, when they went back to Brazil in the 50s, they opened bakeries.
That was the business.
Family. So I grew up in that environment already, and over the years, that's always been my passion, my love.
That's great.
And I opened up, me, my mom, and my aunt in '99, a bakery, our first bakery in Newark. And since then, I never really looked back. And one of the reasons when I did move to Summit 6 years ago, I always wanted to open something with my background, the Brazilian, Portuguese. And when I had the opportunity, I just jumped in, and I had to. And that was a restaurant 2 years ago, in 2019.
See, that's it. You have a passion, and then we were just talking about that, you go for it. You just make up the decision and go for it. So you live here in Summit?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It's nice to have a business in your own hometown, isn't it? Yeah.
Great commute.
So tell me the difference. You're talking Portuguese and Brazilian here. Tell me a little about the difference in the cuisines, because to me, I see how they got together, but tell me a little bit what they're like, each one of them.
Portuguese is very fish-based, like codfish, the salty codfish. That's their trademark. There's so many, probably 200, 300 different dishes that they
wow.
make out of codfish alone. So
Wow.
there's like, thousands of ways,
Yeah.
hundreds of ways to do it. And potatoes, fish-based. Brazilian is a lot of meat based, rice, beans, so much that they're known for rodizio. That's when they bring the meats, different kinds of meats to the table.
Oh,
So
okay.
you just sit there and they just kind of keep
Ju-
bringing different kinds of meats
Okay.
and different cuts. And that's what Brazilians, are
Yeah.
known for as far as cuisine and food.
So with your pastries and things, what is their focus?
Portugal, it's very egg-based, like the custard cups. It's very egg-based. Has a cream yellowish to it. There's that fried donut right there. It's pretty good. It's bola de Berlim. It's also very known in Portugal.
So the bakeries that you have in Newark, are they strictly bakeries, or are they more like this, more of a little coffee
No,
place?
they're bakery. I always call them diners, actually. Bakery
Oh, okay.
diners, because we have kitchens. So
Okay.
we do make food. We have the bakery side.
Okay.
But it's sandwiches, food.
Okay.
So, it's everything mixed together.
Yeah, and
So-
you're very lucky here because your restaurant is literally across the alley. Your
Correct.
doors match up.
Yep.
So tell me about the restaurant a little bit. What are your specialties over there?
Again, so a lot of
Codfish.
Well, it actually paella.
Oh, sure,
paella,
of course,
the
yes.
Valenciana and marinara. The difference is Valenciana has meats, has chicken and sausages, plus the seafood, and the marinara only has seafood, doesn't have sausage.
Yeah.
But that's a big seller.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
You know.
I think it's kind of well known, as far as
Yes.
as a dish.
Yes, an
Yeah.
international dish that
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
kind of associates with, and
Yeah.
So especially like Europe, like Spain, Portugal.
Sure.
That's
Yes.
what they kind
yes.
of,
Right.
you know.
Right. So what are yours? Tell me about the coffees that you serve here. Are they special coffees? And a
well-
little bit about the desserts, because we're going to take a look at those in a minute.
The coffee is a Portuguese company, Delta. It's a blend of mostly South American, Colombia, Brazil. It's not, the Portuguese, they don't have coffee, but it is a company.
So that's where the Brazil can come in too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Colombia.
Yeah.
So, but it is a Portuguese company. There's a different. I don't know if I'm also biased because I've been drinking this coffee for 10 years, so I love it.
I'm sure you are, but I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I just
It's your
love
business.
it.
Yeah.
It's you can mix it with anything. You can make any cold coffee, any hot coffee would mix up anything, macchiato, and it tastes wonderful.
So you add all those things also. You
we
can do
have
that
most
here
of,
too.
the regular stuff that everybody has now. It's the macchiatos and the mochas
Yes.
and we have frappuccinos.
Yes. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
And
So
we
you
have
can do it all.
milkshakes, Yeah.
Oh. See, that's a
Milkshakes
wide
is
thing.
actually very good because it's Nastos. It's the ice cream company in Newark.
Oh.
They've
Local.
been known for years.
Yeah.
So.
So do you do a lot of your product local that you can get like that? Yeah.
It's mostly everything local,
Yeah.
especially from Newark. I've been there.
You know
No,
all the resources.
I know
Yeah.
everybody,
And they
so,
know you.
yeah.
That's true. That's very true. So you're right here on Union Place in a lovely space. You've done a wonderful job here. It's really,
Yeah.
really nice. People can come in, sit down, meet people for coffee, work on their computer. Very homey and nice. What did you think about putting a store in like this just down the street from the other coffee places that are on this row here?
I think there's business for everybody, and you always have to distinguish yourself a little different. And since my base was Portuguese, Brazilian, and something that they don't have.
Yes.
Coffee is
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
It is all the same name, but in the end, people tend to gravitate towards what they like.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the pastries is what changed, differs
That
us
was
from.
the different. Yeah.
you know,
But I think, people find a coffee they like that might not, I hear people say, oh, I don't like the coffee from whatever, one of those major places. And I think also a lot of people like to come to somebody locally, which I think is an important thing that we're talking
Yes.
about here, that you are local, you live here, you're a resident, and you have your business here. And everybody out there listening should support all of you.
Yes, this
and
town
me
is great
also.
for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. And you know, you're here, you meet the people, and yeah, I think it's important. I think it's what makes us special for sure, for sure. So you're right here on Union Place. What's your address?
21 Union Place.
21 Union Place. I encourage you to come on over, have a cup of coffee, try out one of these most decadent pastries. They're just beautiful. And say hello to Arsenal. Okay?
Thank you. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Patricia Hannigan of Patricia and Paul's Artisans of Fine Oils and Balsamics. And this is a lovely shop. It's good to see you again, Patricia.
Wonderful seeing you.
Patricia and Paul were down in the wine list for 4 or 5 years, and now they are in their own shop here on Springfield Avenue, 310 Springfield Avenue. And they've done this lovely little jewel of a shop here with wonderful products and goodies. And I wanted to revisit with you because now you're kind of out on your own, and it's just nice to be here with all this beautiful stuff, and I want you to tell me a little bit about it. But first, let's back up and tell me a little bit about how you got into the business.
Okay. So my degrees are in nutrition.
Right, I read that.
And-
Undergraduate and master's.
And masters.
Right, okay.
And so the olive oil and the balsamics is what excites me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had done many years, I ran food services in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And then for about 10 years, I worked for FedEx office, believe it or not.
Really?
Running the Northeast for them.
So now you know how to ship on
And
top
so
of that.
I can ship, but also FedEx taught me about branding and a lot about
sure.
running your own business. Obviously, all those years in food service taught me about good food and nutrition, and my degrees. So this is kind of a, as I say, my second act. It's sort of an accumulation of all the years of experience I had. And we're loving it. Paul and I love to entertain, we love to cook, and we love sharing that with everyone.
That's great. Yeah, and that's the best way to go into business with something you love. You love to get up in the morning and get into it. I always think it's interesting, as you go through life, as you say, your second act, the things that you learned at the corporate level, you still bring with you. The things you learned when you were in school, you still bring with you. It's amazing how it all comes together
It
in
really
this
does.
beautiful shop, in this business.
And I don't know without all that background would I have been comfortable, going into my own business. There's obviously a lot of finances,
Sure.
and networking, and deliveries, and there's a lot.
Responsibility,
There's a
yeah.
lot that
You're
goes-
always in the business, whether you're here or home or
Exactly.
wherever.
And we're fortunate. Our daughter Erin actually is the manager. So
Terrific.
So it truly is a family business.
That's wonderful.
And,
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier having her with us, and she really holds down the fort for the Westfield store, and that was, having such a strong presence enabled us to then feel comfortable opening another location.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been in Westfield?
We've been in Westfield 9 years.
Oh my goodness! And you've been here in this town.
So about 45 years, and then in this location at 310 Springfield, we've been here since June, so
Okay.
just a little over 6 months or so.
Good. And everybody's followed you here, I'm sure.
It's people are starting to realize
Yeah,
we're down
yeah,
here.
yeah.
We're obviously spending a lot of money on social media just to
yeah.
make sure that people are aware that we've moved. So we're getting it's getting its own following.
Good.
We deliver within 5 miles, so a lot of the other towns. We've done farmers markets up here and in Madison, and also people in the area
Yeah.
know us from those
That's
locations
good.
as
A lot
well.
of customer service.
We work on that.
Yeah, it's hard.
And COVID kind of changed how. We've always offered curbside pickup, but obviously during COVID, that
Yeah, it
obviously
became a really big deal.
It became a big deal. We have the website, so we were able to during COVID transition to mostly online curbside pickup
Great.
and home delivery overnight.
Yeah.
And I was driving and
Oh, yeah, I know.
The good news
I
was
hear ya.
nobody else was on the road.
I
so
know, it's true.
would,
Had them all to yourself. And any parking place in downtown
and
Summit, anytime you wanted it.
I had,
that was true.
So it really enabled me to just get our product
Yeah.
out there, and I have to say, both communities, Westfield and Summit, and the immediate area couldn't have been more gracious during the holidays.
Supportive.
Supportive. You know, I think they realized that the small businesses were
Yes.
hurting and
Yes,
that they needed.
they did.
You know, and both those towns have such beautiful downtowns.
They do. They're
And
two great towns to be
and
in.
we're so fortunate to have these downtowns. And in order for them to continue, we really do need
Yeah.
the support of all the local folks. And I think they really got that.
They did.
The
They
past
did.
couple of years, and
So-
they came out.
Tell me about your products, because all of these beautiful bottles have your label on them. So tell me how that works.
Okay, so when we were first opening, again, because my degrees are in nutrition, and that was the part that really was important to me, I did a lot of research on what was going to be the best importer that I could find. Thomas Mueller, he's the leading authority on olive oil and balsamics, and he's been on a lot of shows, 60 Minutes, all obviously local news, Main Street newspapers, the Wall Street Journal. And he talks about a lot of adulterating that goes on in olive oil, and a lot of what you get thinking is olive oil isn't. And that was really important to me, was to find a importer that I knew I could trust. And in the back of his book that we carry, he lists importers and places to get good olive oil. And so I made it, I found one of the ones that were in there. And so we use Veronica. She's located in California, so she brings it all into California. She does the infusing for us, and then we bottle it.
You bottle it up here in
We bottle it
Westfield.
here in Westfield.
But on top of that, which is fabulous, because if anybody's into olive oils, this is the place to be. But you were also telling me about some local products here from people that you have met or people have recommended, and how wonderful they are. So tell us a little bit about your jar goods here, and we were talking about Top and Odd.
You know, it's really important for me as a local business owner to support other
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And you know, I just love their stories, and I love being a part of their journey. And more importantly, I also love supporting female
Yes,
entrepreneurs. Jar Goods, as you made mention of, is a local company. They are two sisters who follow
nice.
their
Yeah.
father's recipe. He owned a restaurant in Jersey City, and you can actually see like the olive oil
Yes,
on
you
top.
can see it sitting right on top.
This is, you know, this is the real thing.
real deal,
It's,
yeah.
absolutely. And she's over the years, as she's expanded, so now she has a vegan variety. She just started with the original classic, and now there's a vodka. There's a spicy one. So
Terrific.
it's nice.
It's nice
to
that
grow
you
with
do
them.
that. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So we have a few of those kind of stories, and
Well, it's not something you're going to find everywhere, and you're
that's important
handpicking
to
them.
me. That's
Yes,
important to me, because anybody could go into, you know, one of the major chain
Sure,
grocery stores
sure.
and find
something.
and find you know, tomato sauce.
So it's a win-win situation on both
uh,
sides.
Exactly, but you know, when you know that it's not mass produced, you know,
Makes a big
It makes
difference.
a big difference.
Yeah. Well, it has been lovely catching up with you again,
I'm
Patricia.
so happy that you came
And I
back.
love your new location and your new shop, and I hope
Thank you.
everybody stops by to see you. And thank you for your time
Oh,
today.
thank you so much. Always a pleasure
You-
to see you.
Patricia's at 310 Springfield Avenue right here in downtown Summit, and my suggestion is you hop on over and take a look at all the goodies she has.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You bet. That's our show for today. I'm glad that you were able to join us and meet some of our new people in town. But why don't you come up and spend an afternoon with us, grab something for lunch, a cup of coffee, visit your old favorites, and visit our new people too. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.